here for fun, but this is also a business trip. This was just moments ago after the anthem. They revealed these shirts that say, pay us what you owe us, because, of course, right now, amid the backdrop of All-Star, they're having negotiations and meetings right now with the Players Association about this new CBA. And, Nate, what do you make of this move to very publicly say to the league and put them on alert, we want this money?
I was really glad to see the women wear the pay us what you owe us, because one thing that the W is always going to do, and the players in the W, is stand on business. If you've only been watching for a couple years,
nobody's
just
watching.
Google WNBA and like social justice and things like that, because they just have always been at the forefront, the women have, of the W. Anyways, I'll just use one example because I know if you have just no knowledge of the pay, a lot of people just compare it to the WNBA and they're just like, well, they don't make as much because they don't bring in as much. And they're not asking to be paid the same as the men. So there's that.
Yeah, a lot of them actually do. A lot of them actually do ask to be paid just like the men. I've seen it. Some of them now are shifting towards them wanting to be paid just proportionate like men or something like that. Like they're not asking, they're just asking to be paid a little more. They want to be paid maybe in the hundreds of thousands versus the 75,000 that a lot of them are making.
Like the men. So the men get 50% of revenue sharing, which is just the total amount of what the WNBA brings in. Well, the women, for that same statistic, bring in 9%. So whatever that number is, right? If we make $100 at the lemonade stand and I give my kid, $50 because he's a boy, and I give my daughter $9 because she's a girl, then the girl's like, well, what? I think that, okay, maybe in the girls' lemonade stand we only made $50, but still give me 50% of whatever we made. You give the boys 50%, give me 50%. That's what they're saying when it comes to that one stat. So let's just start there and think about that part. And I was also just extremely impressed that all of the women participated in wearing the shirts, even the women who truly don't need the money per se from the W and just do it for the love of the game. And then you have some people who play in the W. Yes, they all love the game, but this is truly their primary income and they need it to be a legitimate living wage. So I was very impressed by that as well.
I just don't understand. I'm going to start from what she says they need it to be a legitimate living wage. A lot of them are making about $75,000. Most Americans get on with a little less than that. So if they're making $75,000 plus, I'm assuming a lot of them have sponsors, they're making a decent amount of money. I'm assuming a lot of them are making over $100,000 a year. How is that not a living wage? They just want to live like the men. They want to get paid like the men. Here's the problem. You're saying that there's a revenue sharing with the men, right? Where the men get 50% of every dollar that they make the NBA. The difference is that the men are bringing in billions of dollars for the NBA. That's the difference. You know how much the women are bringing in? They're actually not bringing in anything because last year they just lost $40 million. And the WNBA has not been profitable since its inception. The WNBA has not made a dollar in profits for the NBA or for the WNBA, whatever the larger organization, the NBA, because obviously they belong to the NBA. They have not made a dollar ever. So the fact that they're getting 9 cents to every dollar versus the guys getting 50 cents to every dollar is actually, it's a handout. They're getting money for free because they're not bringing in any money. And you know what, honestly, I wish that they would switch the model to 50%. You know why? Because then that means that the league would crash faster. And then there would be no WNBA, so none of them are getting paid. That's my wish. Not because I don't wish the girls to make more money, not because I don't wish them to be successful, but I hate the complaining, the crying about why don't we get paid just like the guys? If they get 50% of the revenue sharing, why can't we get the same? You're not bringing in a dollar for the NBA. You're not bringing any money. How can you be requesting something? Pay us what you owe us. So you should be getting paid nothing. You should be getting paid nothing because the WNBA or the NBA as an organization as a whole does not owe you a dollar because you don't make them a dollar. Imagine having a product. Imagine you being a business owner and having a product that for the last 30 years you've had it has lost you money, and the reason you keep that business open is because you're using your other business, your much larger business that actually makes you money. You use dollars from that business to fund the failing business, and then your employees are like, yo, why is my salary not going up? You'd be firing them quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because it is not sustainable. How are you asking me for more money when you haven't made me $1 since the company started? You haven't made me $1. You have not made me any profits. I'm spending more on you than I'm actually getting back. So what am I doing? But you want more money. And these women talk all this crazy stuff. They talk all this. They want more money. They want to... And especially the women that get on social media, like this lady right here who thinks that the women should get paid proportionate. None of them are watching. She might be one of their 5 fans. The WNBA has 5 fans, and 4 of them are men. They want the men. See, these women get on social media and asked for the women of the WNBA to get paid more money. But these are the same women. None of them watch the games. None of them buy merch. None of them buy tickets. None of them do anything for these. They just want them to get paid more because apparently the money comes out of thin air. But they don't actually want to support the players. In the United States, there are more women than there are men. It's like 51 to 49. It's not that big of a difference, but there are more women than there are men in the United States. If the women watched the WNBA at the rate that the men watch the NBA, the WNBA would be making the same amount, if not more money. But women do not care about sports like men do, just sports in general. I'm not even talking about the WNBA. Women do not care about sports in general like men do. They don't spend on that. They like fashion. They like makeup. They like other things, but sports is not one of them. So how can you expect to be making the same amount of money if you want them to make more money, but you yourself as a group, right, the women, don't even support the women. You don't even go watch their games. You don't even turn it on TV. There are no advertisers because there are no eyeballs. Because this is all it is. It's supply and demand. I don't understand a lot of these people that went to college. These are all college-educated women because to get drafted to the WNBA, I'm assuming you have to go to college, right? And get drafted from college. So I'm assuming all of them took an economics class. They must understand that this is how economics work. That there is no free ride. You want to get paid more, but you're not bringing in $1. And they never have anything to say about that. They just complain and whine, and they want more money. They want to be treated like the men, but you're not bringing in the money that the men are bringing.
Controversial take here, but WNBA players, professional athletes, should be paid a fair salary, so you pay them, and not have to rely on playing basketball overseas in their off season.
You pay them.
Playing in Unrivaled or other sports leagues just to make ends meet, even though they're great opportunities, or rely on marketing deals, which again, great that we're allowing them to have these brand deals. But
the men have
when
the brand
are we
deals
start
too.
Paying them for what they're worth? These are women putting their bodies, their lives, their blood, sweat, tears on the floor every day. These are women professional athletes. Their male counterparts are still making like 1,000 times more. And right now there's negotiations happening, and I still think they're lowballing them. Do better. Women deserve to be paid and not have to work several jobs to be paid that.
These people are absolutely insane. These people are out of their mind. I just don't understand where they get this entitlement that they must be paid more simply because they're athletes, because they're working. The women don't even dunk. The women don't even dunk. Have you seen Angel Reese play? She averages like 20 rebounds per game because she misses the ball and catches her own rebound. They look like goofies on the court. Boys high school basketball players would absolutely demolish the best WNBA team. A mid-high school team of boys. Not even a top school team in the United States. A mid-school team, a mid-tier school team would probably demolish the WNBA players. Yet they want to be paid just like the men. And again, it's like these people don't understand. And it's always in the eyes. Look at this. Look at this crazy woman. She's crazy. Look at her eyes. She looks insane. If you want them to get paid, why don't you just start GoFundMes and you guys pull all your money together and give it to the WNBA? Or give it to the women. Give it to the women. Or why don't you guys start a league? Start a business. None of these people own a business. They don't know what it's like to take risks. They don't know what it's like to be unprofitable or lose money for years and years and years and years before you make a dollar. But it's been 30 years now at this point with the WNBA. At what point are they going to turn a profit for the NBA so they can start paying the amount of money that they... Because I guarantee you, if the WNBA was making the NBA money, even if it was $100 million a year, not comparable to what the guys are making, right? What they're making billions of dollars for the WNBA, even if it was $100 million a year versus losing them $40 million, the women would be getting paid more money. But these people don't ever want to talk about that. They're right. They should get paid their fair share, and their fair share is zero. They should actually be paying the WNBA. They should be paying the WNBA because they're losing them money. But that's all I got for this video, guys. I think these women are absolutely insane. It seems like they go to college, take an economics class, and don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or they don't pay attention in the economics class, or they just choose to ignore what they learned in college about economics and come out here and operate on feels. Because this is all it is. They're operating on feelings, not facts. Nothing is free, baby, and they're paying you and still losing money every year. So the product clearly does not work. But that's all I have to say, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. And if you got anything for me that you want me to react to, my email's in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.